still 65. So if you have just a string of English text and you're encoding it at 32 bits per character, you're going to have about 26, 27 zeros and then a few ones for every single character. That is incredibly wasteful. Suddenly, every English language text file takes 4 times the space on disk. So problem 1, you have to get rid of all the zeros in English text. Problem 2, there are lots of old computer systems that interpret 8 zeros in a row, a null, as this is the end of the string of characters. So if you ever send 8 zeros in a row, they just stop listening. They assume that the string has ended there and it gets cut off. So you can't have 8 zeros in a row anywhere. Okay? Problem number 3, it has to be backwards compatible. You have to be able to take this Unicode text and chuck it into something that only understands basic ASCII and have it more or less work for English text. UTF-8 solves all these problems and it's just a wonderful hack. It starts by just taking ASCII. If you have something under 128 that can just be expressed as 7 digits, you put down a 0 and then you put the same numbers that you would otherwise. So let's have that A again. There we go, that's still A, that's still 65. That's still UTF-8 valid, and that's still ASCII valid. Brilliant. Okay, now let's say we're going above that. Now you need something that's going to work more or less for ASCII, or at least not break things, but still be understood. So what you do is you start by writing down 1, 1, 0. This means this is the start of a new character, and this character is going to be 2 bytes long. 2 ones, 2 bytes. A byte being 8 characters. And you say in this one we're going to start it with 1, 0, which means this is a continuation. And then all these blank spaces, of which you have 5 here and 6 here, you fill in the other numbers. And then when you're calculating it, you just take off those headers, and it understands just these as being whatever number that turns out to be. That's probably somewhere in the hundreds. That'll do you for the first 4,096. What about above that? Well, above that, you go 1, 1, 1, 0, meaning there are 3 bytes in this. 3 ones, 3 bytes, with 2 continuation bytes. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 16 spaces. You want to go above that? You can. The specification goes all the way to 1111110X with this many continuation bytes after it. It's a neat hack that you can explain on the back of a napkin or a bit of paper. It's backwards compatible. It avoids waste. At no point will it ever send 8 zeros in a row. And really, really crucially, the one that made this win over every other system is that you can move backwards and forwards really easily. You do not have to have an index of where the characters start. If you are halfway through a string and you want to go back 1 character, you just look for the previous header. And that's it, and that works. And as of a few years ago, UTF-8 beat out ASCII and everything else as for the first time the dominant character encoding on the web. We don't have that mojibake that Japanese has. We have something that nearly works, and that is why it's the most beautiful hack that I can think of that is used around the world every second of every day.